I'm going to call this meeting to order, and our first order of business is to review and approve the minutes of our April 27th meeting. And that would require a motion. And
I'll move we approve the minutes for the April 27th meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, you're going to sign that one. We have bills for payment. We have warrant 23. We have the payroll 23P, and from the Recreation Board, we have a bill for payment for t-shirts, $820.90.
I'll move we approve for payment warrant 23, 23P, and Rec Board for the shirts. And make a note in there that there's a minimal payment of $50 to my business and $70 for Hugh for mileage.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
With the note.
Any discussion?
Nope, that's good.
Okay, under warrant 23, we have chloride, there's fuel, we have Green Mountain Power bills, we have stipends to the emergency management team. We have bill coming out of that fund. We have maintenance on the generators. We have repairs to the covered bridge, the Rescue Inc. Monthly contract. We have sand. We have 3,155 yards of sand at $2.92 a yard. The grand total, $40,734.73. So, any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We can move on to our visitors and public comments. Anybody out there that would like to have anything to say?
Yeah, I don't know if these ladies want to go first? Okay. I'm representing the fire department and the president of the organization.
Do you want to come up?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, it's easier for the camera to catch you.
Or at least get the back of your head?
Yeah, okay. Wayne Emery, representing the fire department as the president of the organization. The monthly meeting was last night, and the members voted to pass in a petition asking the town to come up with a special town meeting to raise the $175,000. And I have that petition.
Okay,
So
so,
there's approximately 135 signatures there.
okay, great. So, we will give this to the town. The way it works is we give this to the town clerk to verify the signatures and check the wording of the petition, and then we have 60 days to warn a special town meeting. And once we do that, within not less than 30 days, but not more than 40 days, we have a meeting. And we have to post it and put it in the newspaper. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
All right, that's good. We did send out bids to get an idea of what it was gonna cost us for that, but we hadn't awarded any bid until last night. We tentatively awarded a bid to Severance Building, subject to funds coming in, and he's okay with that. And he's also taking care of another issue we have that the state notified us on, of the asbestos. And we were already working on it because we'd already talked with him about testing for it. But now we got a letter from the state telling us we definitely had to. So it's fine. I called him and he said no problem. And he said there's outfit not too far away that's licensed to do that, and they'll be in here and take samples and send them out and
Come back, yeah.
get back to us.
Okay. So you feel good about that figure that's in here?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, he said no problem. Okay?
So what about the timing? So Rich, I remember when you came before to the select board, you had a budget and then you had a timeline. So with the petition and a special town meeting with the different time periods that Zeke just mentioned, what does that do relative to your timeline? Have you?
Well, we realize we're not gonna get it done by October.
I see.
The way we were planning on before, but
Right.
the contractors assured us that he could build it in the wintertime if he had to,
Uh-huh.
but we don't really want to.
Right.
And we're in hopes that everything will get resolved and we can at least get the shell up and get heat in it and do the finish work in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll have to wait and see, you know, how late we can start.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but he's also said that worst come to worst, they'd hold the bid price subject to whatever inflation is on building materials.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
We're not thinking of taking that long, but
well, no, but if for some reason it got to the point where we couldn't get started early enough in the fall to be able to get it closed in, then we'd have to hold off until spring. We don't want to, but
Right.
'cause
Right.
you put off today, tomorrow you're going to be kicking yourself because you're going to end up having more stuff to deal with.
Right.
So,
Okay?
just going on department wishes.
Yeah. Well, let me just ask you, so I want to just get this on the record. So I think as this goes out, I definitely want to, if we go to the special town meeting, it's getting the information out to the town to me is an important thing. So now whether I write an article or something, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet, but I guess this would be a question eventually I'll get to you, Rick, but so if I write this, it'd be nice to have input from the fire department as well. Now, I called you and I didn't get a response to my phone call. I emailed Rich, I didn't get a response to my email. I asked both of you guys at the DRB meeting if you were going to be able to come to the select board meeting last week, and you told me one of you guys would be there, and then subsequently no one showed up.
Yep.
So it's hard to have a dialogue, it's hard to have communication if the other party doesn't participate in the communication. So I guess I'm going to ask you here on the record is that if I do try to come up with some way for an education piece on the town, I would like to meet with you. You're the chief or the assistant chief, or you, Wayne, and the questions I'll ask are simply, why are we unwilling to partner with the town to raise funds as opposed to going right to taxing the people? So all I really look for is if I go forward with this, if I call you up and say I want to get some information from you, are you guys willing to sit down and talk? So I'm putting information from the fire department as well as information that I talk to people about. What's the urgency behind doing it, and the timeline you're trying to express, and the fact that we're willing to skip the step of trying to raise funds before we ask the people to reach into their pocket and spend their own money. So,
Yeah. Well, we've been trying to raise funds for this for the last 5 years. It's been in our fundraising letter here. We look at it. It's hard to go to somebody that, let's say, like we were told by a select board member, to go shake the trees of the rich people. That's kind of a wrong way for a fire department to go about business. We don't ask for a lot from the town. I know the town buys our fire trucks. But we're doing this for the town. It's not for us, it's for the town. And as we're looking at it as a cheaper way to get along to, instead of one building for the town, where we gotta find a piece of property. We're already on a piece of property where we can build on, just building a station with 2 bays. The $175,000 fire station is pretty cheap for a town in Dummerston.
okay, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to drag that. I guess my question is, if I intend to go forward and try to write this, are you willing to sit down,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
I said, and talk?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
haven't
we're
been able
willing to do all
I
that.
haven't been able to get a dialogue
The last
going yet.
time we're at calls, we've been at brush fires in other towns in Putney. We've been Stoddard. We've had a fatality on Route 30, and a lot of those things we've been going on. So we've been busy as a fire department as well. We're doing it with our families and our own jobs. So we take the time for that too, and we apologize for that. But we had other obligations as a fire department to be at some calls.
I do think that's really good, Hugh. I think that's the way to do it, is to sit down off camera,
Yeah.
come up with these things and go over the reasoning.
Yeah.
And how long we have been working on it, how long we have been saving for a capital building.
Yep.
We've been saving, I don't know when the account was opened up, for a long time.
No, that's good. I just, we're skipping a step, and I
Yeah.
I would like to somehow educate the citizens of the town, because, not everybody has time to, come to these meetings and things, but, we've got to go in and and I would like to know why myself, why we're skipping a step. So I guess as long as I've got the yes answer, then I've got the answer I need, and we'll go forward from there.
That's understandable.
Okay.
And I'd just like to reiterate that we do understand how much you guys put in, and the time and the, just the volunteer effort. It's huge. So,
Yeah, I was kind of curious. I really can't understand this professional fundraiser that you talked to, Steve, that said that we needed to put money out of our own pockets, that all the in-kind service that we've done over the years didn't count. And, I look
I don't
back,
think he said it didn't count. He
I
just said,
look back at, I joined the department in '72, and I've thousands of hours, and as a fire chief too for 5 years, and Lee's been through the same thing. And as an officer, we put in a tremendous amount of time for nothing,
yeah.
and that really hurt when I heard that.
We took it personal,
Our meeting last week,
and it was
we actually addressed
concept.
that, and we put that to bed. That was not, that. If
That
you-
was
if you
one-
watched last week, we kind of took that up
Well,
as an
I didn't
issue.
make it last week because I
No.
had sickness in
No,
the
I know.
family.
But we did address that, and that was put aside. That was
Yeah,
not.
we hopefully buried that.
Yeah.
Good.
And there's just other things that, being told that to understand Dummerston people. I grew up in this town. My kids went to school in this town. I went to school in this town. My father was an assistant chief in this fire department. And he was a Dummerston police officer in this town at a police department. So I know about this town. So I don't like being told I don't know about this town. And that everything that was said at the beginning here took really personal to this department. And we work hard. We do a lot of training. We're volunteer, and we have to train professional. We train with professional fire departments. We train with volunteer departments around us. And it was hard to hear that coming from our select board. It was really hard. And we think we're trying to do something good, and we hear this. It really hurt. It really did. So I want you guys, folks to know that.
yeah, you're addressing it to me, and I was trying to pass on the information that I received from somebody. I talked to somebody that raises money for hospitals, raises money for a lot of things, even in Brattleboro, and this was a suggestion that he made. And I know how much you guys work. I mean, my son and my wife are both part of your fire department. But I was passing on the information that somebody that does capital fund drives was suggesting how they do it.
So we would just, again, on that, if I have time, and I really would like to write this, but I think it's very important that we sit down and talk, and that way we write it essentially, what I'd like to say is an unbiased piece of what's going on, and that everybody in the town, when it comes time to vote, then they can make their decision based on that, so,
Well, just give me a call whenever you want.
okay, I appreciate that.
That time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay.
Don't give Lee anything you want.
Save it for them.
Okay, so, the process is we hand this over to the town, so
Okay.
take care of it. All right. and then it will be on our agenda for next week and
You'll
probably,
keep us on track, next meeting, not
Yeah.
next week.
yeah, next week. Anyone else want to speak before our road foreman comes up? No?
Gonna say nothing, huh?
Okay, then it's time for our highway report with Lee Chamberlain.
Hello.
We missed you.
Yes. All right, so we did get some good news from the state. Even though we were 15th on the list, we did get that grant.
Awesome, that's
Yeah.
so great, Lee.
They sent a questionnaire for I think it's the first year they sent it out. And so Lori and I answered those questions, and since they required some pictures, some project boundaries, actual map where the project's gonna be. So we sent that all down the other day. I think the next step is they say, all right, you can spend the money now. And then that's when I did let Clark's know that it's getting closer. And then that's when I'll let Clark's know that they can have it engineered. And get a better idea on the actual days that we should be doing it. The sand, you did see the bill there and heard about it. We pretty much finished up the sand, which is nice. And compared to 5,100 yards last year we used, and we did 32, or yeah, a little under 3,200 this year. So pretty much shows how the winter compared.
Yeah.
Paving, I did talk to Steve and Hugh the other day about this year's paving, which would be Houghton Brook Road, Johnson's Curve Road, and Canoe Brook Road. That's the regularly scheduled paving for this year.
And they're already paved roads,
Yes.
so it's.
Yes, we don't.
It's fixing up
Yeah,
paved roads.
I don't ever see us
Yeah.
affording to do
To pave into the street.
any gravel.
Yeah.
So what we do is work on the shoulders. We've been rip-wrapping some ditches. We plan on we rip-wrap a ditch on Johnson's Curve Road. And after we get done Johnson's Curve, we're going to Houghton Brook and then to Canoe Brook. And at Canoe Brook, we are planning on putting in rip-wrap ditches up the left side of the road, the right side of the road above the paved swale. Right now, the paved swale should be approximately 125 feet long. I just want to make sure I get that right. Yep, 125 feet long. So it'll be riprap and then to the paved swale, go by Canoe Brook Apartments with the paved swale to the catch basins. Any other questions on paving on that? We have 95,000 in the budget for paving. We usually spend 94, and then we use the 1,000 for when we have to buy coal patch to fill in holes, or we have to put a culvert in and have to repave over that. This figures out to be around 75,000, and then once we know for sure what it's going to cost, I'd like to put out to bid some crack sealing for some roads and for the town office here. That's just taking in a compressor, blowing out all the cracks and filling it with the rubberized sealer, and that prevents the water from getting down in the pavement. It's considered pavement preservation. That's what the
What's it made out of?
they say polymers, and I believe that's plastic, right? I think that's what.
This is what some consultants
Yes, two of them.
recommended to extend the life of
The pavement,
and
right?
to spread out the repaving.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's just, instead of just dumping blacktop, you know, layer after layer on, you should try to keep your good roads good longer before they do get bad. And this prevents any water or a lot
Getting
of water.
underneath.
Yeah. A lot of the state, you see it a lot on the state roads. I think a lot of people are going to start going to it because payments are so expensive. Upper Dummerston Road. Lori received the $2,000 check for our portion and for being a detour, pretty much, for Route 30. And I remember talking with the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not heard a thing about
As
if
far-
it's actually going to get paved.
Okay.
This came in pretty close to right after we had that meeting, so we'll see on that. I think he was checking on it. It's just a matter of there was some question about Brattleboro was going to sort of I don't know how to call it, a rumor, but Brattleboro is going to be able to pave their end of Upper Dummerston Road. And we just asked about Dummerston's as far as part of the payment for having it a detour.
Right. And our roads were just getting used just as much as the rest of them.
Right.
Yeah, and that was even a criteria that we tried to slip in with the original discussions, was that the road be brought back to
Yep.
decent standards.
And
Right, Bill Holiday went and
Right, yeah.
videotaped the entire road.
yeah, Brattleboro and I met on that, and we actually drove around, Steve Barrett and Al and I, and looked at all the spots on theirs and ours. And then they said, no, you guys are getting way too ahead of yourselves. It's only going to be a small payment. So this is what I expected. So if we get the pavement, I guess it's a bonus. But I am not sure. And that is where we did apply for the 2 grants, the Better Back Roads grants for Upper Dummerston Road to get it ready for paving for next year. And even if we don't get the grants, we're still going to work on that road because some of the culverts just need to be done. The last thing I had on my list was the cemetery across from A.S. Clark's. I believe it's Taft. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at the town purchased, or I think they might have given it
Yeah,
to
I
the
think
town.
the power company gave it or deeded it over to the town.
Yeah, around an acre of land,
Yeah.
and it's just to the north. I did find the boundaries. Having a well, it's Longview. I wanted somebody who might bid on the job, but they were further enough away from town to come and give me a suggestion on how much we should be planning on budgeting before we put it out to bid, or if we are going to put it out to bid.
That's for clearing it and stumping it? Or-
Yeah, and he asked the same thing, and I said, well, we'll start with clearing it, and if you didn't mind kind of giving us an estimate on, clearing it, stumping it.
Yeah.
This is with a fellow buncher too, so there's power lines there, and some trees hang over the cemetery, so where they can just grab right a hold of them and take them down. But we'd put it out to bid
Yeah.
to whoever wanted to
Okay.
really bid on it. But it's pretty much for a price. That's what something he said for an acre. He thought in his own mind, $3,000 to $5,000, and I think that was to just cut it.
Okay.
And he said if there's value in the logs, of course that comes off it. But there's not a whole lot there. I wouldn't get.
Because we're running out of. I don't even know. Is there anything left? Just quickly, do you remember it all? Anything?
I asked Terry, and she was thinking there was 30 or some odd, but some of them she didn't think we should actually sell.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you mean, anything left?
Lots.
Lots.
Like
Lots.
places for
Any
people
lots
there,
left? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now there's those.
Mhm.
Let's just say 30, and then we have over at Rice Farm where we cleared that, and I believe there's probably like 150 there. There's quite a few. In all the 3 other cemeteries, there's nothing.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if we could get that thing cleared, so.
Yes, there's
Well,
still us
I am
on
still,
still on the committee.
The big thing is that
I'm a.
we know how much trees cost. If you take down one individual tree with a tree company, that can be $1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they can come in and eliminate everything on the north side, so we don't have to deal with them, I mean, that could save us, because there are a lot of trees that are questionable there.
Mhm.
And why wouldn't we stump it at the same time?
Right, and we could.
Oh, okay,
we
I
could.
see, okay.
I just thought we'd get separate prices. I mean, I really don't know where the money's coming from,
Right, yeah.
and how much we have to spend.
I think
This
it's
is
coming
che-
from your sand budget.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why it was kind of like, if we get it in stages, if you guys decide that you only want to spend $4,000 to get the trees out, and then let the stumps rot for 5 years. But I mean, it leaves a
Put
mess,
some pigs in there.
Yeah, exactly, or something. But
It'll open that up too. I mean, it'd be nice to get it opened up. And
Oh, it's
get the sun
definitely-
in there to, just to.
we do have $600 left in the cemetery tree work for this year and ending July. So we're actually cutting some trees down by Janice Dukes tomorrow with him, and I'm hoping maybe even next week or the following week to go in the cemetery, and it's the same cemetery, but it's along the riverside there.
So is there
These
money in the
trees.
town budget for this kind of thing? Is that what we're talking about?
This sounds like it would, let me see. Good question. It's probably the sand budget.
Yeah.
So it's not a line item.
No, there is some money in, the cemetery committee does have some
Right.
money.
Yeah, I hear that.
Don't remember how much off the top of my
I
head.
don't remember. I know there was to ask for a little bit to start putting a fund together to start clearing the trees, but it wasn't much.
Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't there some fence issues there too that we were trying to set some money aside for?
Yes.
Yeah.
This probably because our fences are falling down, and you have to have.
Yeah.
you
I know last year was that you guys put in $1,000 for the trees.
Trees, yeah.
And then this year there was $1,000 for
Stone repair.
yes,
Okay.
stone
Oh, okay.
repairs. There's a lot of stones just falling over.
Yeah.
And Gordon Evans, he takes care of the center cemetery, and he went around with us and kind of showed us how to.
So you're
fix
getting
those.
this quote for us to consider
In the
if we
future,
have
Yeah,
money
yeah.
in
That's
the
what it
current
looks like.
budget to spend on this project.
Yep. Or the
Wouldn't
cemetery
that money
fund.
come out of the cemetery fund, which is a separate account from the general fund? That's what you put the $1,000 into. So it's not included in the general budget. It was in the actual cemetery fund, which is a
Right.
dedicated account for cemeteries.
And right now, that I think the last time we looked, that was around 35,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So
In
they've
there.
got a little cash
Yeah.
there.
Okay, thank you, Larry.
But that 35, that's for the perpetual.
Right. I mean, that's just
Yeah, don't touch
there's never going to be enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want people to think that's, well, they got a lot of money.
Well,
trees.
yeah, that's good to clarify, actually.
But the good thing is this cemetery over there. It's the same thing. Eventually, if somebody even wanted to go to Green Mountain again, Green Mountain Power, that is, there's quite a bit of land right there, and I think it's the best viable option as far as having a place for long-term future.
I guess I've shown my bias, so when we vote on the money, I'll have to recuse myself.
Oh, I don't think so.
I would like
You're
to
not
see-
benefiting
I would
directly.
like to see it cleared. and-
Well, not
Yeah,
right,
his-
not right off anyway.
He has a lot right there.
Not right off.
That's right.
But no, that's all I have. I don't know if you have any questions.
So, we're doing some work on Canoe Brook Road to get ready for the paving.
Yes.
So, would a smart thing be to just have Lee document what he's going to do to get rid of the paving, to get ready for the paving, and in turn, to help Canoe Brook's water problem that they have. What we're doing is gonna try to control the water some along the road. I'm just thinking if Lee was to get us a little packet together of what he's doing, cleaning the ditches and stone lining,
Crowning the road.
and paving the road and crowning it, and then couldn't we just have Zeke write a letter back to Rick? I was thinking Joe, but he's not gonna be here for a while, saying that this is what we're
Gonna be
gonna
working
do,
on.
Yeah.
which is our normal maintenance to get
Yeah,
ready
okay.
for paving, and then Lee could address the
Yep.
swale and how high the swale's gonna be with Rick at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would
definitely.
that be a logic? I mean, I don't think we need to go meet with him. I mean, basically, Lee's gonna do what he needs to do to get the road ready for pavement anyway. We're gonna ditch it.
It's fine with me,
Mhm.
I think.
Wouldn't that be a logical?
And I can get that to you in the next couple days, because
Okay.
I'm hoping to
Gets.
be there next week.
Yeah.
End of next week, time we get the other road done, but, you know, it's,
Okay.
Would that be a lot, from our discussion the other day, wouldn't that be a logical
Yeah.
thing to do? I mean, that's,
But, yeah, because we have the, I mean, yes, the letter from the state, we'll
Yeah.
work with Mark, and clearly, you know, the town has done nothing to aggravate any water situation, and, I mean, but as you do your maintenance with it, you're gonna do everything you can to correct,
right.
you know, some of the overflow that goes there.
and just discuss that we're gonna put stone, a swale and stone on the left side, and so he knows it's coming past his entrance there too, and that we're gonna do that on the other side, and then we're gonna pave it and just have it written so he knows what we're gonna do.
Okay. No, I have about 65 photos here on my phone from after that race. I want to see.
Yeah, we don't need all the interior, no, remember, no, put it away.
Is that the one from last week?
Yeah.
That just seems like the next logical
Oh, no, I
step.
think
As
so.
opposed to getting there in person, you don't need to.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I think.
When I met with, every year I meet with one paving company and I go over the paving, and I wanted to make sure that they could crown up the road there. You know, and how much, you know what I mean? And to figure up about what it's gonna cost, even though he's not giving up his bid number. So that's, and when we were up there walking the road and measuring and all that kind of stuff, Rick, right?
Yes.
Rick was out there doing some other things, you know. So he definitely knows that,
Yes, he.
you know, the plan is
We're paying attention.
is going.
Yeah,
Um,
good.
Yep.
Maybe after the meeting you want to see those photos?
No, maybe tomorrow I'll stop down,
Okay.
but probably sooner than later. That we need to follow up with the letter.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want Lee to
Yeah.
get there before
Oh,
he gets
yeah.
a letter, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow I can.
Okay.
Oh, I have it all measured up. It's just a matter of writing it down.
Just
and,
writing a description of what
Yeah.
we're intending to do.
Yep.
Good, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Lee.
Any other questions for Lee? No?
All right. Have a good night.
All right,
Okay,
thanks,
thanks
Lee.
for coming in, Lee.
Yep.
Okay. Well, under correspondence for information, is there anything that particularly you'd like to go over?
No, on to the next thing.
Okay.
Come on, Hugh, help
All read the
me here.
letters.
All right, correspondence for discussion and or action. We have a letter from the Department of Health regarding changes in the statute for the town service officer, and that was House Bill 575. So every year we appoint a town service officer, and Rita Ramirez has been it. And the town service officer was there to, after hours, help people who needed assistance, you know, with getting emergency fuel or some project. Now they have a 24-hour, it's 211. You dial 211 and you're connected to a person that will help you get whatever services you need. So they've pretty much reduced the town service officer's duties to nothing. Well, maybe I shouldn't say nothing because I don't want to offend our fence viewers and weighers of coal, but it's becoming office like that now. Rita, when I asked her about this, she wrote that in the 5 years she's been the town service officer, she's maybe had 2 calls. It might be nice to keep the town service officer just in case someone doesn't know where to turn, and she can at least refer them to dialing 211. So,
Well, and wouldn't it also help, I mean, if someone were to call the town office, then the town office has somebody to send them to. I mean, how would somebody know that this position exists and that Rita's filling it?
Yeah.
You know, likely they'd call here, so it gives the town office somebody to, Rita seemed amenable.
yeah, and I can check with her, but
Mm-hmm.
we can also let Lori know that the 211 is the number.
Right,
to call.
exactly, right.
Yeah,
I know when I checked with her, when we were going through, I think she was willing to do whatever she could, and I think it would be important to keep a local
yeah,
contact.
I think so.
Yeah,
And,
there's
and
some-
I think that generosity probably goes beyond the couple people that
Oh, I think
she
so,
referred
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I think they're,
And some people are more comfortable calling a person. Some people are more comfortable calling a 211 number, you know.
Mm-hmm.
it might be that's where it still goes, but at least you'd have somebody locally that might
Mm-hmm.
know of the circumstances, and
Mm-hmm.
if that's logical to
Yeah, I
if
think
she'd
so.
be willing to keep, and I think she is, to stay on, I think it's worth having that
Yeah.
contact.
And then I guess the question is, if she were ever to step down from that role and not want to be reappointed, would we continue to keep that position? But we can reevaluate
Yeah.
that at the time.
Let's cross that bridge when we
Yeah.
get to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
Good.
Okay, I'll write or call Rita, or if you want to.
No, I'm happy to.
Okay. All right, let's see, it's that time of year, every 3 years, the town health officer is appointed or reappointed. And right now, actually, I am the health officer.
I think we just need to reappoint you.
Yeah, unless you're not happy and you want to appoint someone else.
Is
I'll
this a
move we
motion?
reappoint Zeke as the health officer.
I will second that motion.
Okay. Well, any discussion?
Do you want to tell us what that position entails, what
Yes,
you've done?
It's, I'm acting on behalf of the Board of Health, which the
Is
Select
Zeke.
Board. The Select Board is the Board of Health. And so I'm there to respond to any calls or complaints from people in town who are concerned about issues that may be a public health problem. And sometimes that's a septic system that's not working. It's oftentimes rental housing complaint. There's housing that's being offered for rent isn't meeting the standards that the state of Vermont sets. Probably 50% of the job is responding to dog bites. So quarantining the dogs and tracking the dogs down, getting the health information about the dogs, and reassuring the people who have been bitten. So that's about it. There are calls that come in. People are concerned about someone's property but an issue, but you have to draw the line between, well, this might be unsightly, might be an eyesore, but it's not really an issue of that endangers the public health.
Yeah.
And so most of the time when these issues come up, it's meeting with the people, working out the problem. If that can't be done, then a health order is written, and then that involves the select board. So that's usually. But there may be less than a dozen calls for the health officer.
During the course of a year.
Yeah.
I
Thank
had
you.
somebody stop one time and referred Zeke to them. And
Mhm.
Right. So, okay, well,
Good.
any more discussion? All those in favor? I guess I'll abstain from this vote.
Aye.
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 Abstained. Okay, great. I'll let him know. Later. Let him know the pay is the same. We had a request from Elizabeth Wood to be appointed to the Farmland Protection Committee. And I checked with the members that I had emails for, and they were fine with her joining that committee.
Well, I would move that we appoint Elizabeth Wood to the Farmland, finding it, Farmland Protection Committee.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? This would be it's a 1-year term, so it would be up in March. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Oh, okay. Abstentions? All right. I will let you know. Let's see. We have planning commission. A nomination from the planning commission for the zoning administrator. What would you like to do on that?
I think we need to hire her.
I'd move that we vote to hire Kathleen
Hathaway.
as zoning administrator for the town.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Any discussion?
Do we need to, at this point, talk about, as far as post-probationary period stuff, or is that something we talk about
What do
after
you?
the review, as far as the salary? Or this is just merely to hire, and based on the $15 an hour that we started with initially?
And that we'll
Okay.
reevaluate at 90 days.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
As per the town personnel policy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I will let her know, and you'll work on that letter.
Yeah, I'll
of
probably
hire.
stay tonight and just do it here.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Let's see. We have a candidate to fill the vacant auditor seat.
I'll move that we appoint Tammy Scarf to the open auditor seat.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion?
I thought we
I
had.
want to thank Jean for
That's
working with Tammy.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
won't let you down.
Yeah, okay. No, you usually
I
don't.
don't
No.
think either of them will actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
good
Uh,
news.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, that saves, I was going to.
Yeah, don't have to email.
Saves
Yeah.
you a call.
Stand up so everyone can see you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tammy.
Okay, any other, want to nominate anybody else? Any jobs you want filled?
No, just keep pushing you
Okay.
along through the agenda.
We have to approve the Conservation Commission. Would like, they're applying for what they call it, a tiny grant that would put a naturalist in the 5th grade, one of the 5th grade class. And they just need the select board to sign on for this. It's called The Art of Seeing, a project of the Dummerston Conservation Commission, and they will be at the Dummerston Elementary School.
I'll move we sign and approve the grant application for the Conservation Commission.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so they wanted just a letter. I took this proactive stance. There we go, that's done. So, other business. We had Green Up Day, and apparently our coordinators, Mark Brown and Whitney Harrison, did a bang-up job. Whitney Harrison might have had the award for the most trash.
Awesome.
And her the prize I think this year was a jar of sea monkeys or something like that. Were you going to take care?
That's a new one on me.
We still have to work that out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they
Catch
did
me
a-
sometime.
They did a great job, and all the
They did.
volunteers who came out that day. So that was great. Well, we could finish up early.
No, I think we're finishing on time for a change.
So, any other business you'd like to?
Move we adjourn.
I'll second that motion. to
Okay.
adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, good job.
Okay.
Good job, you. We kept it moving.